Well, hello everyone. Karen Brook here with you, and welcome to our webinar today on closing the gap between what you really want and what you currently have. I'm so pleased to be here with you today and to be sharing this webinar with you and taking you on this journey of discovery today. So I'm going to go straight over to you and ask you, are you happy to be here? Type me a yes in the chat. Seems a simple question, but I know what it might have taken for you to set this time aside to attend this training live with me, or if you have set the time aside to access the recording. I want to acknowledge that for you, that it does take a decision to register, to then set the time aside, make the time available, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. And if you hadn't already thought about whether you're happy to be here, you should be happy to be here because you're in the right place at the right time. The law of attraction does not discriminate. It puts you exactly where you need to be. And that is right here today together. So switch off the distractions if you can. Put your phone on silent. If you've got multiple tabs running in the background, if you're trying to tune in on this and do something else, switch off the other thing. I promise you it's not as important and significant as what you're going to get access to today. I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom, to your kingdom, to begin to close the gap between where you are and where you really want to be. So let's start with that. Is there a gap between how much you are currently earning and how much you really want to earn? Type me in the chat if the answer is yes, and then type small if it's a small gap we need to close together, or if it's big for a big gap. So yes, comma, big or small in the chat. Is there a gap between what you are currently earning and how much you want to earn? I was having this conversation recently with a client of mine, and they said, you know what, Karen, any business owner, any person wants to earn more money. Whether they need to or not is irrelevant. It's just that desire to succeed and to grow inherently comes with a desire, especially if they have a positive mindset around money, to earn more, to attract more, to have more, because you know what you can do with more money? More good. You can help more people. You can do greater work, you can provide greater service, you can give back. So let's hope the gap between where you currently are and how much you want to earn is big, because it means we've got a big opportunity and a big opportunity for growth by closing it. So type me in the chat, yes, comma, big or small. Is there a gap between how you are currently running your days and how you would love to be spending your days and weeks? Is there a gap between how you are currently running your days and how you would love to be spending your days and weeks? Type me a yes or a tick in the chat. You know, most people don't ever spend much time thinking about this. They wake up in the morning, they get in the car, they drive to work, they go to work all day, not even really knowing why they go to work. Everyone goes to work, right? They get in the car, they drive home, they cook dinner, they might have a glass of wine or a beer or watch the news, they go to bed and they wake up and they do it all over again and never ever actually stop to think, hey, how do you really want to spend your days? Who do you really want to surround yourself with? Why are you doing what you are presently doing? And how would you like to make it better or different or improved or more enriching or more satisfying and so forth? These are important questions because for the most that you know, your life might already be half over. I mean, I don't know exactly how long you intend to live, but you could do the maths on that. Take a look at your age, take a look at how long you think you're going to live to, and you do the maths on that. So if we don't start to ask these questions now, will we ever ask them? And we want to make sure that you're creating your days and weeks how you would love to have them, and only you can now make that change. I'm going to show you how to make that change today. Do you ever feel like you don't have enough time to be across your business, your sales, your marketing, running the house, nurturing your relationships, exercising, looking after you, all of these things on the list? You know, I will sometimes hear this as an objection when someone's thinking about joining my program, and they'll say, but I don't know whether I've got the time to do it. I don't know whether I can fit it in. It feels like it could be another thing. And I'll say, hey, this is not something you have to do. This is actually something you're going to use to help everything else in your life become easier. You're actually going to use this time with me, use the program, use the coaching to help you close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's not something extra you have to do. It's like getting that better performance gain. It's like a car that'll take you from A to B. Well, your mind is the only thing that can take you to your goals. It's the only thing that can close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And yet it's the last place that most people turn for guidance until now. So if you feel like you don't have enough time to be across your business or your sales or marketing or running the house or your relationships or exercising, looking after you, type me a yes in the chat. It may be one of those areas, it may be all of those areas. And do you ever feel maybe a little or a lot burnt out? And for a successful person, for a high-performing leader, sometimes that is hard to admit because you like to push yourself right to the edge. In fact, in some cases, you've been rewarded for that throughout your career. Operating right on the edge, burning out, feeling overwhelmed, stressed, but you're rewarded for it. In fact, we see this a lot in corporate culture. So you do want more. You would love to achieve more, but you fear the cost of that, of burnout, of stress, of overwhelm. You can't handle anything else in your life. But at the same time, you still find yourself daydreaming of what else could be possible. You find yourself daydreaming of your goals and the holidays you'd like to take and the houses you might like to buy and the cars you love to drive. And quite frankly, you could just be daydreaming about having a night to yourself, not having to clean the house on the weekend or take the kids to school sports or, it could be as simple as that. But you just feel overwhelmed, stressed, burnt out, trying to manage all parts of your life. If you can relate to that, not only are you in the right place, but you're in the right place to solve it. Now, I also want to put in here a caveat. Don't wait until it sounds that bad to start to close the gap, right? You don't have to wait until you're sick to get better, to want to become healthier. In fact, that's a really bad idea to wait until you're very sick and unwell to decide to get healthy. Unfortunately, that's the catalyst for some people to change. Agree with me? Type me a yes. You probably know someone like that it wasn't until they had a massive health scare that forced them, or that was the catalyst for them to change their paradigm, decided to become healthier, happier, and wealthier. In other cases, it could be a traumatic event, a death of a loved one, a breakup of a relationship, or something that was very traumatic and hard for that person. And it sort of forced them to make some changes. You don't want to wait until that happens to you. My motto is, this is where the best come to get better. And you come because you want to do better, because you want to get better results, because you want to close the gap, and you want to be at the front foot of doing that. Now, wherever you are on that sliding scale, you belong here. Whether you feel like right now your back is very much against the wall and you need a lot of help to turn the ship around into a better direction, to start to feel enriched, happy, wealthy, and healthy again, or whether you're already there, but maybe you feel like you might have plateaued to a certain extent. You're not sure what direction you need to take next or how to get that better performance gain, because quite frankly, a lot of your life is actually going well, but something still yearns in you for growth, for a better life, for more money, for more satisfaction, or whatever that is for you. You are in the right place. So tell me now, what is your one major area that you want to close the gap in? If I said right now today that within the next 24 weeks together, we could close the gap in one particular area, you'll find that it'll work in more areas than one, but the one motivating area for you that would mean more than anything else, that if you could finally close the gap In the next 6 to 12 months, it would mean everything for you. Is it money and sales? Is it time and productivity? You know, you want more free time back. You want to feel more productive. You don't want the stress and overwhelm. Is it relationships? You know, you really struggle in your relationships. Maybe you're a really shy person. Maybe you've got some negative relationships around you, or you want to attract a better relationship, and that would mean the world to you. This could also relate to your clients, the people that you attract to your business, your ideal client. Maybe that is where you've been struggling and you would love to close the gap and now begin to attract your ideal client easily and effortlessly. Maybe it's health and fitness. You've been trying for some time to create some progress or a quantum leap in health and fitness, and it's like today is a line in the sand for you. Today is the day that you're gonna make a decision to shift it. Perhaps it's your career or business. It's time to take it up a level, to finally go for the promotion that you want and get it. It's time to finally grow the business you've always dreamed of and get it. Maybe it's money. You want to double or triple or quadruple your income. You want to grow your sales 10 times. So tell me in the chat, what is the one major area that you want to close the gap in today? Type the one word in the chat that describes that for you. Career, money, sales. New business, I love that. Time, money, sales. All right, as we work through this, keep sharing it with me in the chat. I love this, money, sales. I want you to start to build a vivid picture. Get a real picture of what is it like now for you and how do you want it to be? Because for us to close the gap, we need to know where we are and where we want to get to, and then we have to change the paradigm. We have to create a paradigm shift to close the gap. And this is why most people miss the mark, because they focus on changing behaviors. Behavior is a secondary cause of result. The primary cause is the paradigm. The primary cause is the mental image that you have in your subconscious mind around that result, around that part of your life. And when we change it there, we change it permanently and the gap can close. It closes in on itself. Financial, I love this. Money, sales. Okay, time. Great, good work. Let's keep going. So the first step to closing the gap is to make a decision. The power of decision. Decision is the first mental move that you will make. Before anything can begin to transform, we must consent, which means we must make a decision. So right now, right here, I want you to make a decision. I decide right now that I am worthy of having what I really want. I am a divine creator and I can have what I really want. It is okay for me to want more and ask for more. I can have it all and I decide today to close the gap. I am worth it and I am ready. Say it with me, even if it feels a little silly, a little out of your comfort zone, say it with me. I decide and mean it. Right now, I am worthy of having what I really want. You know, we don't get tough on ourselves anymore, do we? You let yourself off the hook. You say, yeah, I'd like to do this, or I'd like to make that, or maybe there's some changes, but you let yourself off the hook. My mentor, Bob Proctor, he never let me off the hook. He was such a great mentor. He always wanted more for me, and I want more for you as well. So I'm not going to let you off the hook. I want you to say this like you mean it. I want you to say, I'm a divine creator and I can have what I want. And let the truth of that sink into your soul. It is okay for me to have what I want, to ask for more. Say it with me. I can have it all and I decide today to close the gap. You know, you have people around you and influencers around you that talk you out of wanting what you want. Whether it's a loved one, whether it's the neighbor, whether it's the newsman, whether it's the newspaper, whether it's Facebook or social media, telling you constantly what you want or what you shouldn't want. But you have to tell yourself and train yourself to know that you can have it how you want. Your business, your rules, your life, your rules. And as long as you are working in harmony with the laws of the universe, you can design it and live it how you really want to have it. Isn't that an enthusiastic idea? Isn't that an exciting idea? And I want you to say, I am worth it and I am ready. Now, when we say I am ready, you're going to feel a little bit of fear, a little bit of trepidation, but also excitement at the same time, because you're going to begin moving in a direction that you've never been. I mean, think about it. Type me in the chat. How long has this gap existed for you? So if we say, I want to improve, I want to close the gap in time. If I want to close the gap with my new business, if I want to close the gap with money or sales, when you think about where you are and where you really want to be, how long has that gap existed for? Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? Is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Is it a decade? Type it in the chat for me now. Years, 2 billion. Okay, so I want you to articulate it. I want you to be even more specific with yourself. Is it 3 years? Is it 4 years? Is it 2 years? Years. Okay, so try to articulate this in more detail, because what we are doing here is we are taking a real honest look about how long this gap has existed before. The gap exists because of the paradigm. You haven't changed the paradigm. There's just, we can hold it up to the light, we can kick it in the dirt, we can put it to the acid test. There's just no way around it. If there are gaps that exist between how we're presently living and how we want to live, we have to learn to change the paradigm. We've got to be willing to make a paradigm shift. We've got to go at the root cause of our results, which is in our mind, in our subconscious mind, and begin to change it there. It's like, I've got this new computer. So I bought this new computer at the start of the year and it runs so well, so well. Where is my old computer? Yeah, I don't even have it around me anymore because it couldn't give me the performance results that I wanted. It was old, it didn't charge up very well, it was slow, I couldn't connect it to the big, auditorium AV system. I had to get rid of it, I had to get a new computer. And yet most of you are walking around with an operating system that could do with an upgrade. Your biocomputer could do with an upgrade. And there's a step-by-step process to do that upgrade, right? We get it out of the box and we think, oh, bright, shiny things, we've got to learn how to use it. We've got to put the new programs on it. We've got to put on the biocomputer the results that you want to experience. Otherwise, you continue to use an old computer that just can't give you what you really want. Does that make sense? So we've got to take a look and we've got to say, if 8 months, 1 year, 24 years, 3 years, and say, oh my goodness, if not now, when? If not now, when? We have to make a committed decision. You have to make a committed decision. I could do this entire webinar and talk nothing else about decision, and still only 3% of you would get that and do anything with it, because the paradigm is so hardwired to keep you operating the way you've been operating. It is so hardwired for you to continue to create the same results year on, year out. And you come to these trainings and you come to these and you think, yep, that'll have another piece of information. You get all inspired and all motivated and you make some changes for a period of time, but they don't stick because it's surface level. We've got to go deeper. That's what my mentor, Bob Proctor, got me doing. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. I have a duty of care. You're here now. Under my guidance, I have a duty of care to show you how to do that and show you how to close the gap. And that's what I'm here to do. I've been doing this a very long time, demonstrated by results, not degrees, that I know what I'm talking about. So what's it going to look like this time next year? Are you going to draw a line in the sand and say, all right, it's got to change? Take a real hard look at yourself and close the escape hatches. If you think by luck or chance somehow next year it's going to be different, it's not. Have a look at how long those results have been hanging around for. For some of you, it's 8 months, might be a year, 3 years, 4 years. I mean, you don't have to be honest with me if you don't want to be, but I'm not being affected by your results. Your life is being affected by your results. So be honest with yourself. That's all I'm asking you. Be honest with yourself and know that no matter what your results were up until yesterday, we can be doing at least 10 times as well as we're doing. All of the psychologists, the neuroscientists, the human performance experts all agree that we are using a very small amount of our mind potential, of our parent potential. And most people don't understand how to tap. 1 in 10,000 people know anything about the laws of the universe and have taken time to study it. There's a lot of people that'll say they understand something about it, but 1 in 10,000 are actually taking the time to study it. This is why when you get into this, there's really no competition, because you're beginning to think and create in a way that most people never will, right? They'll say they want it, but they don't make a decision and they don't act on it. So we've got to get you today really taking a look at how you want to live and how you want your life to be and what sort of results you really want to create, and get you really fired up about that, right? If I could get this in a syringe and stick it in your arm and you'd get it instantly, I would do that. If I could get over there and light a firework under you, I would. But we're going to have to fan that ember, that desire, that little spark that's attracted you here today, and try to get that into a raging fire that you are willing to do whatever it takes to close that gap, no matter the time, no matter the money, no matter the resources, that you don't go another second without making a decision to close that gap. So I want you to totally relax now. I'm going to take you on a little guided meditation. I want you to totally relax and just follow my voice and listen to my voice. And you're going to take a big deep breath in and let it out. All the way out. And another big deep breath in. And all the way out. And we're becoming very relaxed. We're letting go and we're becoming open to receive. And you have this stream of power flowing in through the crown of your head, pure positive source energy. You're becoming aware that your thoughts become things and that you can think anything you really want. And you can use this thought power and direct it to new images, building new ideas, new results in your mind. You're becoming aware that the thoughts and images that you focus on impact how you feel. And how you feel and what you believe impacts your behavior. And your behavior and the vibration that you are in, the feeling, influences your results. What you put out, you get back. You're becoming aware now of this time next year. This time-space reality that exists in your imagination. And I want you to imagine this time next year. And I want you to notice where you are. On the screen of your mind, where are you this time next year? What images, sensations, pictures float onto the screen of your mind? And as you stand in this time-space reality this time next year, I want you to notice yourself. I want you to notice where you are. I want you to notice what you're wearing. And I want you to notice how much money this person is earning a year. And I want you to think about what this person does on a Monday morning. What do you do on a Monday morning? And I want you to notice in this picture you taking out a journal, a small journal out of your pocket, A6 size notebook, and you take out a beautiful pen and you're describing your weekend plans. What are you doing on this weekend? And you write it down in your journal. And you're noticing a feeling of gratitude come over you, a joy and an enthusiasm about this life that you've now created. And you're reflecting on the time and money freedom that you're now experiencing. That you have the money to do the things that you really want to do, and you have the time freedom to enjoy it. And you look up and you look out from where you are. What do you see? What are you looking out upon? And you notice yourself saying, thank you. Thank you that I dreamed it possible. Thank you that I made a decision and turned it into reality. Thank you that all things are now possible because I had the courage to shift the paradigms, to close the gap. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the call. So what you've experienced there is the power of your imagination. And I've guided you through a visualization to see a time-space reality that does exist for you. What you just experienced is a reality. It is presently a reality in another frequency or vibration that you can access. And following the laws of the universe and changing your paradigms, you can bring that non-physical reality currently in your imagination into physical manifestation. So, what is it that you really want? What is it that you would love? See that as real for you. That is truth for you. But you must be willing to close the gap. You must be willing to become aware of how to change the paradigm and then go do it. So are you ready to learn why the gap exists and how you can close it? Type me a yes in the chat. Are you ready to learn why this gap exists and how you can close it? All right. There are two things you must know to close the gap from where you are to where you really want to be. It can feel a little bit like this in the beginning. Lost, present results, you might feel stuck, you might not know how to get to where you're going. There's a lot of competing energies and priorities and information coming at you. But if we want to know how to close the gap between where we are and where we really want to be, we have to bring order to the process. This is not going to get you there. Scrolling the internet, bouncing around YouTube from one thing to the next. If you want a path, a straight path to close the gap between where you are and where you really want to be, you need accountability. You need support. You need blueprint. You need it laid out for you. I call it the pandemic of the personal development industry that exploded in the post-COVID era of an overload of information that has you feeling like you get bite-sized inspiration and motivation and guidance to do this and that, but all it leaves you is with a feeling of you feel better for a day or two, maybe a week, but you're still stuck. The results haven't changed. And you can look at that just by looking at how long you've been experiencing some results that you might want to change, or results that you feel like you could do better, right? You don't have to be doing bad to want to improve. You don't have to be sick to get better, but you can know that you're capable of more and grow from that place. Does that make sense? And we can't do it bouncing around the internet. We can't do it with a disorganized mind. If we feel overwhelmed or overloaded or burnt out, that is not the answer to close the gap between where we are and where we really want to be. But we do need to know where we are, and we need to know we don't want to stay there. Agreed? Yep. We need to know where we are, and we need to make a decision not to stay there. Then we need to know where we want to get to. That's the goal, right? And if it was as simple as just having a goal, more people would achieve their goals, agreed? But very few people actually achieve their dreams because they haven't learned how to close this gap. They may achieve a certain level of success, but certainly not goals that seem illogical or like a fantasy. And we need to understand why that is the case. Where does your performance come from? It comes from your beliefs and your paradigms. Why does the gap exist? It exists because of your beliefs, what you believe you can do. And you have belief at two levels. You have belief consciously and subconsciously. You have a mind. I'm going to introduce you to an opportunity to join me tomorrow for more on this. But you have a mind, and there are two parts to your mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and the mind controls the body. And our results are created to and through us. And so you can believe consciously, yes, you can do something, or you can double or triple your income, or you can, get some time freedom back into your day and wake up earlier and have the weekends to yourself. But subconsciously, if you don't program it there, it won't happen, because it's your beliefs at a subconscious level that ultimately dictate your results. It's the paradigm. It's the multitude of ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that come together to form an image around a certain result, whether it's a money result, a time result, productivity, logic, relationships. It's formed by a paradigm. So how do we begin to change this? First of all, at the highest level, you need to know and understand that you're a divine creator. Anywhere that you see creation, know that there is a creator behind it. And would you agree with me that your life has been a creation? You've built it. Day by day, week by week, whether you are consciously aware or not, you have created, you are experiencing the creation of your life. Agreed? So you are the divine creator behind it all. Now that might both be humbling, but also liberating. Regardless of what the results have been, take responsibility for them, because that gives you freedom. Responsibility is the key to freedom. I'm not concerned one little bit whether you think they were good, bad, or indifferent. All I'm concerned about is guiding you and showing you how to close the gap between where you are now and where you want to go, and helping you to really understand the principles behind this and how to properly use them, the God-given tools that you have to be able to close the gap. So number one, you are a divine creator. Number two, you are a spiritual being, gifted with an intellect. Your mind is the thing that differentiates you from all other human species. And yet it's the one thing that we were given free and clear at birth, but we don't learn to use properly. We don't turn to it as a resource. We turn to somebody else. Guess what? They're not using their mind either, right? We turn to some strategy or solution, but we've got to turn inward first. And we've got to know how to do that. And it's not that people don't want to do that. It's they've never been taught how to do it. And that's what I'm here to show you how to do and guide you through that process. That's what my mentor, Bob Proctor, showed me how to do. And now I'm going to continue that legacy for you too. So you're gifted with an intellect, your ability to think, your ability to use your mind, and you're living in a physical body. And mind is movement, and body is the manifestation of that movement. Your body will go and create the physical manifestations of your mind. So we create and we close the gap there. We close the gap in your mind, then we close it physically. And when you work with me, we work on both sides of it. We work on closing the gap in your mind and creating the paradigm shift there, and closing the gap in terms of your physical reality and your habits, and closing the gap there and creating that paradigm shift. You can have what you want, anything that you really want, but you have to do it for you. I can't do it for you. I'm going to be there every day, every step of the way, guiding you, but you have to know you can have anything that you really want, and then you have to go for it. You have to be willing to close the gap. The paradigm is a bit of a problem. The paradigm conditions you to operate in a certain way. It's like a mental program that conditions you to operate in a certain way, the same way, over and over again, without any thought or effort on your part. It's automatic. It's the automatic part of our life. 96 to 98% of all of your results come from the subconscious mind. It comes from the paradigm. So until we learn to change the paradigm, the results can't change. It doesn't matter how much information we collect intellectually. It doesn't matter how many books we read, how many seminars we attend. Until we learn to change the paradigm, the results don't change. We're just gathering more and more knowledge, more and more information. And then we become frustrated, disappointed, disillusioned, because you think I should know better, but my results aren't improving exponentially with the knowledge that you have. Agreed? And so how do we begin to close that gap? It hasn't closed because of the paradigm, but it can close because of a paradigm shift. Make sense? Comprende? So you need some help. You are the problem. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. You're the problem and you're the solution. You've formed the habit of being you. Now, I don't know exactly how old you are, or, but most of your life you've practiced being you, especially from the time that you could begin to think for yourself and make decisions for yourself and choose what you're going to wear and where you're going to shop and how much money you're going to earn and the rest of it. You've formed the habit of being you. And that's the problem. You are operating on autopilot. And until such time as we get you to stop, and I'm going to show you how to do that and how to ask yourself these questions, you remain the problem because you don't know how to change the paradigm or even what we're trying to change here. But if you're the problem, there's also a solution. Two sides to everything, the law of polarity. If you're the problem, you're also the solution. You can be the solution to you. You can upgrade and change your paradigms. You can form a new habit of being you that will produce the new results that you really want. You know, a person that's earning $50,000 a year is not earning $50,000 a year because that's what they want to earn. They're not aware of how to earn $50,000 a month or $500,000 a year. But if they became aware of how to do that, would you agree that they'd probably want to earn $500,000 a year, right? They've just formed the habit of thinking that way and creating results that way, and it's automatic. One of the most important and powerful paradigms that we have at play is your self-image paradigm. And your self-image paradigm sets the boundaries of personal accomplishment. You can't perform better than that self-image paradigm. So if you've got a financial paradigm that's set at $1 million and you want to go to 10, you have to change the paradigm. You have to upgrade the self-image paradigm. If you have a sales paradigm that at the moment says you attract clients that pay you $300 or $400 and you want them to pay you $3,000 or $4,000, I've got to teach you how to create that new paradigm. If you've got a time paradigm right now that says I never have enough time, I'm always running late, I feel stressed or overwhelmed, or there's not enough hours in the day to earn what I really want to earn, that will remain the same until such time as we program a new time paradigm, a new way of being you with the new results that you want. Does that make sense? Put the little light bulb emoji in the chat if that's beginning to make sense to you and how you can start to join these dots. So if you want to close the gap, you must learn to change your beliefs and make a paradigm shift. You must learn to close the gap, change your beliefs and make a paradigm shift. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, you build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. Like if I kept using my old computer, but I wanted faster speeds, I could go and get another cord, another Firewire cord. I could go and upgrade some of the infrastructure around it. But at the end of the day, that computer is still old. It's slow. It doesn't have the memory capacity on it that I need for what I do today. The programs don't work like they used to. Anyone remember Windows 95? If you're a PC user, I'm a Mac girl now, but I remember Windows 95. And if you have Windows today, you wouldn't go back to Windows 95. But yet, there are people walking this earth trying to get top level results. They want the performance speed of a new Mac processor, but they're still using a Windows 95 software. That's a brutal example. And so we can't get the high performance that we're looking for if we keep using the old operating system. So we don't try to fight that reality. It is what it is. You can't outperform it. I can't make this computer do something it doesn't have the capacity to do. But what I can do is I can build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. And that new model is a new mind model to begin with. We are going to teach you and show you how to reprogram and program your mind with the new results that you want and make the internal paradigm shift that supports the external paradigm shift and the new results that you want to create. Literally take you by the hand and show you what to think, how to feel, and what to do on a day-to-day basis to begin to close the gap. So this time next year, you're not sitting with the same results. How does that sound? Is that good? This time next year, you would be willing to actually let yourself achieve the results that you really want. Type me a yes in the chat. So we have to allow the transformation. There is nothing in the caterpillar that says it's going to be a butterfly. Why am I sharing this scientific fact with you? Because when you set out to do this, you're not going to know or see how can I do this? There is a transformation that must occur within you and external to you to support the manifestation of those new results. Manifestation is receiving, and it happens through growth. It's a scientific process. Success is not a secret, it's a science. And it's a scientific process of using the laws of your mind, the laws of the universe, the laws of the human body to create this transformation. So the caterpillar can't become the butterfly in one step. It must transform itself. And there's nothing in the caterpillar when you see the caterpillar that says it can become a butterfly. But you can see what you want in your imagination, and we can build the new operating system that can match those results, and you can go through that transformation. And transformation can always feel scary if we don't understand the process. You know, people don't fear change, they fear being changed. They fear not being in control of the process. And the process that I will show you and take you through and guide you through is one that puts you in control of it. As much as I'd love to study for you and do it for you because I'm very, very good, I actually can't. But what I can do is mentor you. I can coach you. I can help you collapse time on it. I can answer your questions day by day, week by week. I can look over your self-image scripts. I can lay out the blueprint for you. I can show you what to do day by day, and then you can go do it, knowing you have the accountability and support of me and my team around you and the phenomenal Karen Brook community that will support you in going from the caterpillar to the butterfly. What do you really want? If all things were possible to you, and they are, if no one would be hurt by you wanting what you want, if it was safe for you to want what you really want, if you knew you had all the time and the resources and the people to achieve what you really want, what sort of goal would you go for? If you knew it was possible, what sort of goal would you go for? What do you really want? Not what someone else thinks you should want, not what your partner or your husband or your child wants you to want, not what the news is telling you to want or Instagram is telling you to want or Facebook, or what do you want? And know that that is enough, and that is enough of a reason to get into this. You're worthy of it. You know, I've had clients at every spectrum come and work with me. I've had clients that have left corporate careers earning $400,000 a year and have launched their own businesses within 12 months of working with me, and now have 3 companies generating income. I've had people that have come to work with me purely for health reasons, to change a health paradigm. I've had people that have come to follow this process to buy their dream house after years of wanting it, their dream block of land to build their dream house on. I've had people come to me to build existing businesses so that they could sell them, so they could move on to the next career that they really want. You know, I've had people that have had their backs against their wall, owing money to family and friends, still earning six figures, that then within a year of doing this have $1 million business, $1 million income, and everybody in between. There is no right or wrong reason for you to want this and for you to want what you want. So often we judge and justify our wants. I want you to let go of those limitations and really know that it is safe for you to want what you really want, and you are worthy of it, and you are deserving of it, and you are enough as you are to come to this, and to come to this now. You want to make a decision to shift. Not tomorrow, not next week. Make a decision now to shift. Make a committed decision now to shift. Don't wait another second. Don't wait another year thinking something will change. Don't even wait another month thinking it'll be different. I had a client come and study with me, Jacob. Within 6 weeks, he added $300,000 to the bottom line of his business, getting into the Thinking into Results blueprint with me. If he'd waited 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, he would have pushed back that, but it was in his bank account. He earned that money. Now, there's plenty of examples of that. And I'm really not wanting to share that to try to impress you, but to impress upon you the power of making a decision. If you want this, go for it. Get into it. Do whatever it takes, because you deserve it. You absolutely deserve to live how you want to live. To have the business that you really want, the career that you really want, the time. I've got little children. I've got a 4.5-year-old and a 6.5-year-old. And I love the fact that I've created a paradigm that I can spend time with them. We've got a flexible workplace that my team can engage in activities that are important to them, and we make that available to them. You know, life is short. We don't know how much time we've got, but we do have now. And we do have the capacity to make a decision and act on it. And most of the things that you worry about happening will never happen. Very few of them. But you can make a decision to go after your goals and dreams. You can make a decision to close the gap. And even imagine a 20 or 30% improvement on where you are, what that could mean for you. Even if you miss the target, you'd still be improving by 20 or 30 or 40%. What would that look like for you? But I choose to believe that every target you are brave enough to shoot for, you will hit. And I'm here to guide you and help you do that. If you want my help, I can show you how to do that. Just imagine the freedom that you could have if you close the gap on your income over the next 182 days. Just imagine the freedom that you could have if you close the gap on the time that you want to claw back from whatever has been sucking the life out of you. Just imagine the freedom that you could have if your sales began to grow, if you began to double or triple, if you attracted the money to do the things that you really wanted to do. If you began to live happier, healthier, and wealthier. Just imagine how much freedom you would have if you slept better at night. If you no longer lied awake at night wondering how you were going to do it or how you could create the change tomorrow, but you now had a solution, you had a roadmap, you had a blueprint to follow of how to close that gap between where you are and where you really want to be. That's what I want to help you with. That's what I want to encourage you to get into, and I'm going to inspire and motivate you to do that today. If you could really have it all, what would it mean to you? The money, the time, the relationships, really have it with balance and the effortless way. And don't want what everyone else wants, want what you want. Your life doesn't have to look like everybody else's life. Your life should look like how you want it to look like. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to guide you that. And I say that because I don't think a lot of people really spend a lot of detailed attention really building the image of the life that they want to have. Maybe you skim over it. Maybe you've gone to a retreat or you've done a course, you've thought about goals for 5 minutes, but really get into the image of your life and what you want it to look like, because it's happening whether you're in control of it or not. Just imagine what it would feel like if you began to really live life how you want to live it, and not to feel scared or like you shouldn't want it to be different. You're allowed to want different things. You're allowed to want it to be a certain way. You're allowed to grow. And if that's the message that you take away from this and you act on it today, I'll be proud of that. I want to uplift you. I want to move you. I want to get you out of your comfort zone because you are capable of so much more. And you've held yourself back and you've held yourself down for lots of reasons. But today that all changes. It starts today. Just imagine how good it will feel waking up in the morning knowing you know exactly where you are going and how you're going to get there. I love that. I love that about this work, that every day we come on, we have a group study call early in the morning for our US clients. It's the night before. But we get every day to wake up working on our goals, working on our paradigm shifts, studying together, talking about this work, guiding. I get to guide you and show you and remind you of where you're going and how you're going to get there. That is a liberating way to go, that chaos and confusion is removed and order and manifestation is replaced with it. When the mind operates in an orderly state, you can attract to you what you really want in a more effortless way. It's all by law. And it takes one decision to get into this. So here's what I want you to do next. If you're ready to go, if you know you want in on this, you can go straight to my website and you can enroll yourself today. If you have a couple of questions, if you're really committed to creating change over the next 6 to 12 months, I want to invite you to join me here again, same time tomorrow for a VIP Q&A call. I will answer your questions. I can share more with you around the program, how it works, what we're going to cover. So I'm going to put the link in the chat now for you, and I want you to register for tomorrow's VIP Q&A call. Click the link in the chat and then comment done in the chat if you've registered for that. So let me recap the 2 steps. If you are a yes, I'm ready, I'm in, where do I pay? Where do I click to get started? You can go straight to my website now and you can go to Thinking into New Results 3.0 and you can enroll yourself today. Choose the option that best suits you. You will get instant access to our coaching app, to the TIR lessons with me, 12 video lessons that I've created dedicated for you. You'll get access to the audio recordings for Thinking into Results, my facilitation recordings. You'll get access to our weekly group calls, which we just had this morning. You'll get access to our Facebook group, our coaching app. Plus, you'll get all the bonus video resources and audio resources that I've created over the years for this program. You'll get access to my prosperity affirmations and you will get a welcome gift in the mail. And it starts today. You will be onboarded today. You will have your orientation email in your email today. We will orientate you over the next week. And then come Monday, you will start on lesson 1, a worthy ideal, and we'll get you set with your goals. It is that simple. Step 2, if you have a couple of questions and you'd like to have more information, join us tomorrow on our very special VIP session. This is where I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to share more information with you around the program, answer your questions and show you how you can get started. So click the link in the chat, go and register yourself for that call. Alternatively, you can click the link in the chat and go directly to Thinking into Results. We're going to put the Thinking into Results link in the chat for you today, and you can click that link and go and enroll yourself. One decision. It takes less than 20 seconds to do this, to crash through the terror barrier. Take the next step. Don't get off here not having made a decision. My life is not going to change if you don't act on this, but yours certainly is. Right? You cannot do this and nothing will change. You take the next step and you would know if I'm BSing you. Like, the truth always resonates with the perfection within you. You know what I've shared with you today is true. And so make a move on it now. Don't wait any longer. Make that one decision, the one powerful, life-altering decision that you're willing to make today. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, follow that quiet voice within. Do once what others or your old paradigm says you cannot do, and you will never look back. You will astound and astonish yourself with what you can create with me over the next 24 weeks. So click the link and go directly to Thinking into Results on my website and enroll yourself today, or register via the Zoom link in the chat for our follow-up VIP Q&A call tomorrow. You decide how your life is going to be. We are called to be architects of the future, not its victims. When you get to the end of the road and look back, how do you want to say you lived? What sort of results do you want to say you created? Do you want to be a victim or an architect? You decide how your life is going to be. Decide today. Make that one decision. Go to my website and enroll yourself today in Thinking into New Results 3.0, or click the link and join our VIP Q&A session tomorrow to learn more about the program and have your questions answered. Just one decision will close the gap for you. One decision. Make it today. Crash through that terror barrier. Don't stay the same. Don't let the old paradigm control you. Decide to close that gap. Yes, it may feel scary. Yes, it may seem illogical. Yes, it may seem irrational. But being logical and rational has kept you stuck. It's in harmony with the old paradigm. You've got to do something different, radically different. And I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to guide you how to do that. This isn't for lightweights. We really do create new results. You will look back on this for the rest of your life and you will continue to talk about it. I've been doing this for more than a decade now, and I still have clients from day one call me, message me, email me, sharing the new results that they continue to create as a result of doing this program with me and getting into my coaching. It is easy for you to close the gap between the results you currently have and the results you really want. Claim it. This is not a complicated process, but it requires you making a decision and getting into the coaching and staying in it and giving it everything you've got. Not half, not 3/4. If you do that, you'll get half the results, 3/4 of the results. Don't let the time, the time paradigm, the time objection, it'll say, I don't know whether you've got time right now. Should you really do it? You're doing another program, you're working with somebody else. Excellent, bring this in and you'll actually start to get results with that other work, because the paradigm's producing the results. The paradigm is blocking it from going from the intellect to the subconscious mind. I'm going to show you how to close the gap between where you are and where you really want to be. It doesn't matter if you're already working with somebody else. It doesn't matter if you're in another program. It doesn't matter what else you're doing. This is at the core of it. It's like you've picked up all of these pieces of the puzzle and now you've got the lid of the puzzle box. I'm giving you the lid of the puzzle box. So don't let time be a reason you talk yourself out of this. That's BS. There's no such thing as time and space. It's a decision. And we're going to use this process then to show you how to close the gap. Don't let the money be a reason you hold back on this. Choose the payment option that best suits you while we've got the payment options there, because they're not going to be there for much longer. Choose the payment option that best suits you. Borrow the money from your grandma if you have to. Put it on your credit card. Sell your car. I've had people do that to get into this program. Give it everything you've got and you'll have more than you ever believed you could have. Don't let somebody else's opinion around you stop you from doing it. If you live your life dictated by what someone else thinks you can or shouldn't have, you'll end up resenting them. You'll end up being disappointed that I couldn't do it because such and such. You take responsibility. You do it for you. And you'll become the best version of you, a better version of you, and you'll have so much more to give everybody else around you. Have the courage to step out and do the thing that you really want to do. Say this with me again, that you decide right now that you're worthy of having what you really want, that you're a divine creator and you can have what you really want. And it is okay for you to want more and to ask for more and to have it all and to decide today to close the gap. That you're worth it and you are ready. Tell yourself that until you believe it, and then go act on it. And you will astound and astonish yourself with what comes next. The breakthrough is now. It's one decision. Go and make it. I'm Karen Brook. I'm so happy and grateful that you joined me today for this. I can't wait to see you on the inside in my premier paradigm shift program, Thinking into New Results 3.0, or I'll see you tomorrow on our VIP Q&A follow-up call. I encourage you to register for that if you have a couple of questions. I'll answer them on tomorrow's call and show you how you can get started, or just go along and enroll yourself today on my website. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to have you here. Share this with you, and I can't wait to take you further and deeper. Let's do it. Bye for now.